Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Affiliate ABCs. I'm your co-host, Deborah Carney, along with co-host
Vinny O'Hare.
And our guest host today is Janine Crooks from beautiful Colorado. We have been, how are you doing, Janine?
I'm doing great, thanks.
We are, we've been having, Affiliate Summit has started a meetup, a monthly meetup group. Now, for those that don't know, Affiliate Summit is a large affiliate marketing conference that happens twice a year. Pretty much it's in Las Vegas in January or February, and it's in New York City in August. It's been falling in August. And it's where upwards of 4,000 affiliate marketers, you know, people who run programs, people who are affiliates for programs, people who manage programs, all get together and talk about our favorite subject, which is affiliate marketing, which is, you know, a fast-growing industry that's only been around for about 15 years. So what the organizers of Affiliate Summit had been hearing was that, you know, people can't make it to Vegas for the big one, or they can't make it to New York City, or that they just want to talk to people in a more intimate setting. So we decided to start doing these monthly meetups in a variety of cities across the country. And Janine, you organized the one in Denver, along with Jen Goody. And
yes, indeed.
And Vinny and I organized the one in New York City, which surprisingly enough doesn't have as big a turnout as I thought it would, but it's been very good. Why don't you, Janine, tell us how your meetups have been going?
Well, we've actually been off to a great start. The first one, we mostly just kind of talked about what we wanted to do from an organizational standpoint and had the opportunity to spend a lot of time kind of talking with everybody else. At the second one, we were fortunate enough to have Lucretia Pruitt as our guest speaker, and she spoke about conversion strategies.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was amazing. Oh, my God, the woman is brilliant. And she honestly gave us kind of the 5 C's, is what she calls it, which are different things that she looks at to evaluate content before she posts it, to make sure that it's going to convert well.
Okay.
And, you know, it was beneficial to everybody in the room. It didn't matter whether they were a merchant, an affiliate. We had a couple of networks that were present. We had a couple of folks that are primarily programmers. But for everybody who was there, it was like, wow, this is so good. And so, you know, it was great. So we're in the process right now. We've got a couple of proposals out for our May speakers. So I'm just counting down. I can't wait till the next one.
Nice. Now, what are those 5 C's? Do you remember?
Let me see. I know I've actually got access to them because she was kind enough to put them, believe it or not, on SlideShare.
Okay.
To share with everyone. And just, you know, for folks who aren't familiar with Lucretia, she used to be known as Geek Mommy online, but everybody thought she was a mommy blogger. And that's not what it was. So she decided to not continue doing that, but nevertheless she was able to do it. And basically what she was talking about is that there's really only 2 things that cause people to buy. One is good feelings, and the other is a solution to a problem. So whenever you're presenting a product, try and figure out kind of which of those 2 things it's going to do, and then write all your copy based on that. So she was talking about things like content needs to be compelling, have community, be a conversation, invite commitment, and result in conversion.
Nice.
I like it.
So isn't that good? I know, you know, and then she kind of went through each one and gave us a chance to kind of figure out, you know, kind of what the components were of each one of those points. And she said she never puts up a single post without checking it against the 5 C's. After as many years as she's doing it, she still makes the conscientious effort, and that's why she's so successful.
That's awesome. And if you can make sure you get me the link to that so we can share that in our show notes to the SlideShare,
Sure.
that would be great. Now, one of the things we found at our meetup, we had a group of about 20 people. And again, like yours,
28 we had.
We had 28 people. We had people that were merchants that were looking to start an affiliate program. We had affiliates. And we had some people that were, you know, webmasters that were hoping to start an affiliate program. One was for a fundraising type of a thing. So she, you know, is trying to figure out how she can utilize affiliates to help with their fundraising program. And
she's really just getting started, though. So.
Yeah, she's just getting started. So we had a lot of people that had really basic questions. And our presenter was Jeff Grill, who also hosted the meetup at the offices for Mimeo. And it was very interesting because his presentation, which because our other presenter had canceled at the last moment for personal reasons, he put this together in 24 hours. And he did an awesome presentation about how Mimeo went through and chose, they're starting an affiliate program. And it's going to be launching June 1st. And he went through all the steps, and it was extremely enlightening for us as managers, for the other merchants and, wannabes in the room, and for the affiliates in the room, because the affiliates in the room have no clue usually what goes into, how does a program get from here to there and to them. So
it was very enlightening.
It was really enlightening, and it was interesting. He even explained to us how different networks recommended different things to him. And, then we discussed, what were some of the good things and, some of the not so good things. And one of the points that he made that everybody in this industry needs to remember is that he contacted people that never got back to him as far as OPMs or network response, or he had money in hand.
And people still live.
Isn't that amazing that people do that? I mean, it blows my mind. I try and get back to people as promptly as I can, and sometimes I'm not as fast as I want to, but I try not to ever let a call or an email go unresponded to, because that's just not polite. It's not good business.
It's not good business at all. And I was actually pretty surprised at some of the people. I'm not going to name names, but I did contact them and said, dudes,
you're missing the boat.
You missed the boat on this one. And, maybe his mail went to their spam folder, or maybe they just didn't get a chance to get back to him because they didn't understand the business model. But the company that he ultimately chose, he did talk to 3 different companies for OPM. And, the one he ultimately chose is the one that was the most responsive to him. And he's in a corporate structure, so he needs to justify the costs of an affiliate program. They didn't have one yet. He had to justify that, hiring an OPM was worth it, paying network fees was worth it,
and to make sure he had the right OPM
and
right network.
And he really needed to have really good feedback from these people and justification from these people. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's all part of it. And you guys understand exactly what I mean by this. I mean, I've sat in the affiliate manager chair on the merchant side, and you've got some serious folks. The chief financial officer, the CFO, is going to be staring you down, going, "Why do you want to spend this money? What are you going to make for it?"
Exactly.
And you have to justify your existence. And especially when you're first launching a program, you've got to count on your network to be able to help you kind of get to that point and say, "This is what we expect." And your OPM. So, it's scary to think that there are people who wouldn't return the call.
Especially for people who are just getting started. And fortunately for him, right after his company, he decided to start talking about it, was last fall. So he went to the January Affiliate Summit. And he listened to some of the programs, and he thinks there's a lack of content for new merchants. So he's put in a speaker proposal for the upcoming one. But again, with the smaller meetups every month, and we encourage everyone listening to go to, we'll have a link in the show notes, but go to forum.affiliatesummit.com and look under the affiliate meetup groups. To see if there's one in your city, and there'll be links to the different cities that have one, and you can start one in your city. Just pick a place, pick a speaker, and put it out there that you want to have a meetup, because there's people in your city that do what you do that you don't know. Now, we had people come in from as far away as Connecticut, which I was surprised. Connecticut, New Jersey.
Very good.
And again, we got
Westchester.
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 Yep. So now
we had some people come in from Boulder and from Fort Collins, which was a little bit of a drive, from Fort Collins especially. But,
I was going to say, yeah.
They felt it was worth their while because, they're enjoying the speakers for sure. There's wonderful information that's exchanged. But just as important, I felt, was all of the networking that was going on. I saw so many business cards getting exchanged. And, I think that's one of the great advantages of this. We work in an industry where we can be so isolated, so solitary. And yet there's so many other people that are out there that understand what you do. They can make suggestions and help you. We were trading, WordPress apps that were going to be, helpful. We were, trading the names of good designers. We were swapping names in some cases. People were swapping, merchant names. And so it was so fun to see that happen. And, I know what you can do to fix that problem, or, I've had this problem before and this is what I did. And so those kinds of conversations were just so powerful. And, honestly, our event started at 6:00 at night. We left there at 9:45. There were still like a dozen of us there at 9:45, and nice. Even though I left, my husband and I came home then, there were people that continued to talk in the parking lot. We closed the place and continued to talk.
Yeah, we kind of closed our place too.
We closed our place too because Jeff has a long commute and he's way out on Long Island.
But still, that didn't stop us.
And a bunch of us went to dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just it. And to me, there's just a real power of networking in there. I think we've got some new friendships and some new partnerships that started there, and people who didn't know that there were other people in Denver or in the, in the state that did some of these things that they did. And there were some that were even kind of really niche topics, like special needs children and special needs adults in a way, that there was kind of a melding that was going on because there was someone who had so much experience online in that niche and someone who was still kind of new to it, and how to kind of, put those things together to find the right marriage of, having an effective blog that was going to share the information that this person was so passionate to share, and yet at the same time being able to, in some way incorporate affiliate programs in there that might be really appropriate for their audiences. And I got to tell you, these were not easy audiences to identify. But nevertheless, find a way to help monetize it just a little bit to help support it. Because in one case, it's a mommy blogger who has a child that's got some special conditions, and she wants to kind of share her experiences, and she already knows that she's helping people by sharing these experiences, but it sure would help her if she was able to, find a way to generate a little bit of income from it as well. She's got a lot of medical bills that she has to defray. Yeah. And, it was just very, very cool to watch these matches just naturally occur. It was funny around the table to see two people that, had these similar interests but didn't know it yet sit down next to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
It was like this magnetism was going on, and just kind of watching these perfect matches as people sat side by side. I was just like, this is just too amazing to watch. So it was fun. We just had a good time.
Well, and there's something to be said for the smaller groups because, so now like if you're in a big group, at Affiliate Summit, there's always a session where they do SEO vetting of people's websites. And, you're in a room of 100 or 200 people, you're a little shy about, I won't give them I'm not giving them my website to look at, right?
I did that once. Oh my God, was my heart pounding.
Exactly. So what ended up happening after our presentation, in our chit chat before the presentation, an affiliate casually mentioned that they got hurt by the Panda update, and Vinny very innocently just made a quiet comment, "I didn't get hurt." And it was like an E.F. Hutton moment. Like everybody in the room looked at him and went, "What?" And I'm like,
That's
okay.
Great.
And I'm okay, let's let our presenter do his presentation. And he did his presentation. There was a couple questions at the end, and, we brought up some things. And then I said, okay, let's open this up to general questions. And
it went right back to being an E.F. Hutton moment.
One of the people in the room looked right at Vinny and said, I want to hear what he's got to say about Panda and how he, kept his traffic. And we were able to...
we're recording this a week later, and I bet you I'd still be there answering questions.
Yeah, they...
if we had to.
You know, people around the table, and again, you're talking merchants and affiliates. This is something that applies to everybody. You know, and I was a little worried that a couple people weren't getting any information, but I got feedback from them later, even though they were sitting quietly at the table. I want to say that I got an email from every single person that was there. I literally got an email the next day or Vinny did, between the two of us. We got an email from every single person that was there, and they all said thank you. And to me, that's what it's all about. After the presentation, we let people give their questions. And because it was a small group, an affiliate put up his website. And this is an affiliate that has completely unique content, right? Panda wasn't supposed to hurt those people. But we were able to identify that he was using a template and a hosting system that had the footprint that Google was looking for in Panda. Even though he had the right content, he was in a bad neighborhood as far as hosting and template. And we were able to look specifically at people's meta tags, explain to them how to see their meta tags.
What a meta tag is.
What a meta tag is. You know, why your title and your description meta tags shouldn't be identical or start out identical, and how to mix up the words and the length and super basic stuff. So
yeah, well, you know, I mean, and it really covers the gamut. And I think that's kind of one of the nice things about these gatherings too, is you've got some people that are coming in that are literally at, you know, their version of ground zero. They're just starting to get stuff figured out. You know, their blog is still on blogspot.com or whatever, you know, and so you're helping them through it. And then you've got people that are much more sophisticated, and I'm watching kind of conversations taking place at all these different levels as I surveyed the room. Mm-hmm. And it was neat, because I think there was something there for like everybody, you know, and the same way Vinny was able to help out so many people, you know, getting past Panda, which we know seriously hurt some folks. So yay you, Vinny. You know, but to be able to kind of watch those conversations take place and that kind of help and assistance, I mean, that's just priceless. And it's just, you know, that's the reason why I want to keep organizing these meetups, is because, you know, I don't necessarily get a lot of time to volunteer in other places, but if I can do something here and help other people, you know, build their business and grow, and, you know, that means that stay-at-home moms can stay at home, or, you know, whatever that sort of thing is, I'm glad to do that. And it's worth it for me. It's just fun to see these relationships form. And, you know, I was talking with one person who was there who had a product, and she was really desperately looking for an affiliate network. She wasn't sure what to do. She's on one right now, which is sort of a match, but not great, for her particular very niche product, you know. And so it wasn't a match for Bayat, and I knew that. And so I made recommendations to her of other places, and the next day made a phone call for her so that she could get matched up with that person. And I was glad that I could share that information for her.
Beautiful.
You know, it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. And if that's going to help her, then great. And that's what I think that these meetings are all about.
She'll end up being a long-term person for you to talk to anyway, and maybe you'll have a match down the road or something like that.
Exactly.
But that wouldn't happen without the meetup.
It's the nature of this business. You know, I mean, the friendships that we're able to make through events like this, we keep for years and years and years and years. And, you know, it's more important than the initial deal that's on the table right this second, because exactly what you said, Vinny, you know, 5-10 years down the road, we're going to have a chance to work together. Or she'll know someone else who can work with me. And that's fine, too.
Yep.
And even if she never does, I'm still glad that I helped her.
Exactly.
Well, and it's also good to get feedback from people who, let's say, had been to an affiliate summit and they're new, so they don't know people ahead of time, and they tried to get a meeting with somebody who was so busy that they had meetings every 10 minutes already scheduled and couldn't fit this person in. And again, that's almost as bad as the not answering the email, because, you know, you're at a place where you're supposed to be able to talk to people. And, you know, we love Affiliate Summit, and we're grateful that it has gotten to the size that it is. But it's also, I think that some of the attendees need to remember not to slot meetings for their entire time and to leave some free time to be able to make those new relationships that, I mean, I actually did, make a couple of contacts afterwards after talking to this guy after he went through his process. And it was just interesting to hear his feedback on people that, we know things about and, we know as friends or acquaintances through the years. And his feedback was extremely valuable. And I conveyed that to some of the people that he gave us feedback about.
Some of the networks are going to get better because of it, and some of the OPMs are going to get better.
Right.
That's great. Right. So. That's really huge. Because sometimes they don't realize that there's a problem that's going on until somebody, kind of says it right to them. And, some care and some don't. We both know that too. But, it's always good to get that feedback. I mean, I want somebody to tell me if I'm screwing up so I can make it better.
Yep.
So hopefully I wasn't on that list.
No, you were not. Nobody in this room was on that list.
Okay, good.
On this podcast. I consider you to be in the room even though you're far away because you're in the call. So now we're pretty much at our time limit, but what I would like you to, Janine, give me your wrap up for what you would say to somebody who's considering starting or going to a meetup or going to Affiliate Summit.
I think that it's probably one of the most powerful opportunities that you've got to network with other people in the industry. And that is the number one reason to me to go to Affiliate Summit. There's so much that you can learn just from the other attendees, from the sessions that are going on, from the events, and you will come away from there with a stack of business cards of people that really relate to your business and can help you grow. So, this will be, I think, either my 13th or 14th Affiliate Summit, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Vinny?
On Affiliate Summit or Affiliate Summit Meetup?
Both.
That's Affiliate Summit.
Yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about the Meetup, and I think what I'd like to say is that there was a lot of questions asked and a lot of questions that weren't asked, but by the people asking the questions, the rest of the people in the room got a response that they wouldn't get because they were too scared to ask a question in a big meetup type situation. It was only 20 of us, very intimate.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to spread a lot.
And those people are going to end up at Affiliate Summit because they'll feel more comfortable.
28 people that were in our room, 27 of them will probably be at Affiliate Summit.
Right.
Well, it's a little easier for you guys because it's, down the street as opposed to, a $400 plane ride away from Denver. But I agree with you. If you can't make it to Affiliate Summit, make it to the Affiliate Summit meetup in your city because you will just gain so much. It's a safe place to ask questions, like you said, because it's a smaller group. And even if you don't feel up to asking a question yourself, you can do it after the presentation is over and, and just meet a lot of really new, neat, very nice people and grow.
Yep, we had people that when we walked in, they knew our podcasts, and from the meetup we have 3 new podcast guests that will be regulars on some of our podcasts. And some people walked in with the deer in the headlights look in their eye, and when they left, they were so much more relieved. Because someone had asked that question that they wanted to ask. And, the one gentleman, Adrian, wrote a beautiful blog post about his experience at the meetup and how...
We'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah, we'll put his link in the show notes. And it was just, he looked at Vinny and called him out where everybody else in the room was kind of sitting back going, yes, please, tell us about SEO because we don't really, we use...
What is SEO?
We use WordPress and we don't know that there's these other places that we should be doing things or, we're using an HTML template and we don't know where to fix it. So, all right, well, that's about it for today. Janine, where can people find you on the internet?
Well, you can always find us at bui.at.us. I'll go ahead and put the dot in there just for the benefit of the listeners, but that's bui.at/US.
Okay.
And I can be reached at Janine, JEANNINE .crooks, CROOKS, at bui.at.
Okay. And all of our show notes, we encourage everyone listening. We know a lot of you are hearing this not from our website. Please come to affiliateabcs.com and leave your questions, and also see the show notes so you can find the meetups in your area. And we'll have a link to the places where you can find those. And you can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/affiliateabcs, all one word. And Vinny?
You can find me at Twitter /Vinny O'Hare.
And it was great talking to you, Janine. Thank you for joining us. And I hope everybody learned something, and have a great day.